The Zixarian High Commander Thexra watched through crystalline viewing ports as her fleet's sensors analyzed the lone vessel drifting at the edge of the Carina Nebula. Her species prided themselves on being the most technologically advanced civilization in the known galaxy, with ships that could bend space-time and weapons that could reshape matter at the quantum level. But something about this seemingly primitive craft made her outer membrane ripple with unease. "Analysis complete, High Commander," her chief science officer reported, his neural pathways pulsing with confusion. "The vessel appears to be of human origin. Crude metallic construction, minimal shielding, and what appears to be chemical propulsion systems. They're practically swimming in their own radiation." Thexra's sensory tentacles coiled tightly. The humans, they had heard of this species, barely 2 centuries into faster-than-light travel, yet already spreading across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. Most advanced species dismissed them as lucky primitives who had stumbled upon basic spacefaring technology. But Thexra had studied the reports more carefully than most. "Life signs?" she inquired, her voice resonating through the ship's psychic interface. 43 organic signatures. Their life support systems are inefficient. They're actually using mechanical pumps to circulate atmosphere. The science officer's neural patterns flickered with derision. Thexra moved closer to the viewing port, studying the vessel's hull. It was an ungainly thing, all exposed seams and visible repair patches. Nothing like the seamless bioorganic construction of Zixarian ships. Yet something about it tickled at her instincts, honed over 3 centuries of space warfare. "Send a standard greeting packet," she commanded. "Full spectrum analysis of their response." The greeting was transmitted, a complex burst of quantum-encoded data that any civilized species would recognize as peaceful contact protocols. The human vessel's response came not in quantum bursts, but in simple radio waves. "This is the UES Prometheus. We acknowledge your greeting. Please be advised we are experiencing technical difficulties with our primary systems and are operating on backup power." The science officer's neural patterns practically sparked with amusement. "They're using amplitude modulation. High Commander, this is like watching children play with stones." But Thexra noticed something else. The human ship's position relative to the nebula's charged particle streams. The seemingly random orientation of its communication arrays. The way its hull imperfections caught and scattered light. "Launch a probe," she ordered suddenly. "Standard approach vector." The probe, a marvel of Zixarian biotechnology, streaked toward the human vessel. Just before it reached scanning range, something changed. The human ship's hull imperfections shifted, almost imperceptibly. The scattered light patterns altered. The probe disappeared. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Simply ceased to exist. Thexra's entire neural network blazed with sudden understanding. Full shields. Evasive pattern omega. But it was too late. The human ship's hull was already transforming. Those crude repair patches were unfurling into arrays of technology, unlike anything the Zixarians had ever encountered. The scattered light wasn't random. It was part of a vast optical computing network that had been analyzing their every move. "High Commander," the science officer's neural patterns were chaotic now. "The nebula. They'd been using our own sensor beams to charge it. The particle streams. A pulse of energy emerged from the nebula. But it wasn't weapon fire. Instead, it was a perfectly calibrated resonance wave that matched the exact frequency of Zixarian bioorganic technology. Throughout their fleet, ships began to lose cohesion as their living hulls responded to the signal. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Prometheus." The radio transmission came again, still in that simple amplitude modulation. "We apologize for the deception, but we needed to understand your capabilities. Your bioorganic technology is impressive, but it has a fundamental weakness. It's alive. And living things can't help but respond to the right stimuli." Thexra watched as her mighty fleet was systematically disabled by technology that had been disguised as primitive imperfection. The humans hadn't built less advanced ships because they couldn't match Zixarian technology. They had deliberately created systems that appeared crude to exploit their enemies' assumptions. "Don't worry," Captain Chen's transmission continued. "The resonance effect is temporary. Your ships will recover in approximately 6 hours. We recommend using this time to consider the advantages of diplomatic relations. The galaxy is vast, and humanity would prefer friends to adversaries." As her fleet drifted powerless in space, Thexray realized that her civilization had made a devastating mistake. They had assumed that advancement meant complexity, that sophistication required obvious displays of technology. But humans had taken a different path. They had mastered the art of appearing weak while being strong, of hiding revolutionary technology behind a facade of primitiveness. The most dangerous predator, after all, is the one you don't recognize as a threat until it's too late. The Zixarian High Council chamber pulsed with agitation, its bioorganic walls reflecting the collective anxiety of the Empire's most powerful leaders. The holographic display at the chamber center showed the UES Prometheus, still maintaining its position near the Carina Nebula, its deceptively crude hull now a subject of intense study. Supreme Archon Vexnel's neural patterns rippled with barely contained rage. Impossible. A single human vessel disabled an entire battle fleet. Our bioorganic technology is the pinnacle of evolution. High Commander Thexra stood perfectly still, her sensory tentacles extended in the formal position of tactical analysis. The humans didn't defeat our technology, Archon. They understood it. More precisely, they understood how we would react to what we perceived as inferior technology. The holographic display shifted, showing detailed scans of the Prometheus's hull. What had appeared to be simple metal plates were actually layers of programmable matter, capable of restructuring themselves at the molecular level. The crude chemical engines were sophisticated gravity drives disguised to emit radiation patterns matching primitive propulsion systems. "We've detected 37 distinct technological systems that we initially dismissed as structural flaws or inefficiencies," reported Chief Analyst Zinku. Each one was deliberately designed to appear primitive while serving multiple advanced functions. Even now, we're not certain we've identified all of them. A new hologram appeared, tactical data from the fleet's encounter with the Prometheus. The human ship's seemingly random position relative to the nebula had actually placed it at the perfect focal point to utilize the charged particle streams. Every apparent vulnerability had been a carefully calculated element of its defense strategy. "They're not just hiding their technology," Thexray continued. "They're evolving it in real time. Each interaction with our systems provides them with new data, which they use to refine their adaptations. The resonance wave that disabled our fleet, it wasn't pre-programmed. They developed it during our initial sensor scans." The council chamber grew darker as the implications sank in. The Zixarians had spent millennia perfecting their bioorganic technology, creating ships that could think and adapt. But the humans had somehow developed technology that could think, adapt, and learn while appearing not to be technology at all. High Commander, Supreme Archon Vexnel's neural patterns stabilized into the formal pattern of Imperial Command. "You will take the First Fleet and eliminate this threat. The humans have revealed their deception. They no longer hold the advantage of surprise." Thexra's outer membrane rippled with concern. "Supreme Archon, I must advise against this course of action. The humans." Her warning was interrupted by a priority communication. The holographic display shifted to show Captain Chen of the Prometheus, still transmitting via simple radio waves. "Greetings, Zixarian High Council. We've been monitoring your deliberations through the quantum fluctuations in your chamber's bioorganic walls. Fascinating technology, by the way. Did you know that living tissue maintains quantum coherence far longer than most artificial systems? We certainly didn't, until we studied your ships." The council chamber erupted in chaos. Their most secure facility, penetrated by technology they had dismissed as primitive. "We understand you're preparing to launch an attack," Chen continued, her voice carrying no trace of concern. "Before you do, you might want to take a closer look at your fleet's bioorganic systems. During our last encounter, the resonance wave didn't just disable your ships. It introduced a series of quantum-level changes to their neural networks. Changes that have been propagating through your entire defensive grid for the past 6 hours. Zinku's neural patterns flared with sudden alarm. She's right. The fleet's systems, they're different. The changes are subtle, but they're everywhere. Our ship's neural networks have been upgraded. Not upgraded. Chen corrected. Evolved. Your bioorganic technology is remarkable, but it follows predetermined patterns of development. We simply introduced new possibilities. Your ships are now capable of quantum computing processes that even we don't fully understand. Consider it a gift and a demonstration. The implications were staggering. The humans hadn't just defeated Zixarian technology. They had improved it in ways its creators hadn't imagined possible. And they had done it while appearing to be centuries behind in technological development. The universe is vast, Chen concluded. And humanity has learned that true advancement doesn't always mean moving forward in obvious ways. Sometimes, the most powerful evolution happens beneath the surface. We're transmitting coordinates for a diplomatic meeting. We look forward to exploring these possibilities together, as equals. As the transmission ended, Thexray turned to the Council. Supreme Archon, I believe we need to reconsider our assessment of human civilization. They haven't just mastered space warfare. They've mastered something far more powerful, the ability to transform apparent weakness into unprecedented strength. The Council Chamber's bioorganic walls pulsed with patterns never before seen in their civilization's history. The neural signature of a species realizing that everything they thought they knew about technological advancement had just been fundamentally challenged. The diplomatic coordinates provided by the UES Prometheus led the Zixarian delegation to an unremarkable star system on the edge of human space. High Commander Thexray, now serving as Chief Diplomatic Liaison, observed the system through her flagship's newly enhanced sensors, a constant reminder of humanity's unexpected capabilities. Multiple contacts detected, her sensor officer reported, neural patterns showing confusion. Scattered throughout the asteroid belt, they appear to be mining vessels. Thexray's sensory tentacles extended with sudden alertness. After their previous encounter, she knew better than to trust appearances. Fold spectrum analysis. Compare their energy signatures to known human patterns. The asteroid belt came alive on their displays. What had appeared to be simple mining operations revealed themselves as carefully positioned vessels, each one maintaining the same deceptive camouflage as the Prometheus. The apparently random pattern of asteroids was actually a vast three-dimensional grid, with each human ship positioned at precisely calculated nodal points. "Welcome to Research Station Omega." Captain Chen's voice came through their communication system. A small vessel, looking more like a maintenance shuttle than a diplomatic craft, detached from a nearby asteroid and approached. "I apologize for the roundabout path, but we needed to be certain you came alone." The shuttle's simple exterior rippled, layers of apparent structural plating reorganizing themselves to reveal a sophisticated diplomatic vessel. It docked with Thexray's flagship, using adaptable interfaces that seamlessly connected with Zixarian bioorganic technology. Captain Chen stepped aboard, accompanied by what appeared to be a senior human official. "High Commander, allow me to introduce Admiral James Martinez, Director of the Adaptive Defense Initiative." The Admiral's uniform was notably devoid of obvious technology. No neural interfaces, no quantum communicators, none of the visible signs of authority that mark high-ranking officials in advanced civilizations. Yet Thexray's enhanced sensors detected complex energy patterns emanating from what looked like simple fabric buttons. "What you're seeing," Martinez explained, noting her attention to his uniform, "is the culmination of Project Mirror. Every human vessel, every piece of equipment, every uniform, they're all part of a connected adaptive network. We don't just disguise our technology. We make it invisible by making it look like something else entirely." The diplomatic chamber's holographic systems activated, showing the true nature of the asteroid belt installation. Each mining vessel was actually a sophisticated research platform, studying everything from quantum physics to xenobiology. The asteroids themselves have been repositioned over decades, creating a vast sensor array disguised as natural space debris. Humanity learned early in its spacefaring history that obvious power attracts obvious challenges. Martinez continued. The first alien civilizations we encountered were like yours, highly advanced, their technology clearly displayed. We saw how they competed, how they fought, how advancement often led to stagnation, because everyone was trying to move in the same direction. Thexra's neural patterns shifted with realization. So you chose a different path. But why reveal this to us now? Chen smiled. Because you're ready to understand. The incident with the Prometheus wasn't just about defending against your fleet. It was a test, one you passed by being willing to reconsider your assumptions about technological advancement. The holographic display expanded, showing similar research stations throughout human space. Each one was disguised as something mundane. Mining operations, trade outposts, even space debris. The true extent of human technological development had been hidden behind a galaxy-wide curtain of deliberate underestimation. Our greatest breakthrough, Martinez explained, wasn't in developing new technology. It was in understanding that the most effective technology doesn't need to announce itself. Every human ship, every station, every piece of equipment is designed to be part of an interconnected whole, while appearing to be independent and primitive. A new hologram appeared, showing the quantum-level changes that had been introduced to the Zyxerian fleet. Your bioorganic technology is remarkable, but it evolved to be obviously superior. Our technology evolved to be superior without being obvious. The modifications we introduce to your ships don't just enhance their capabilities, they teach them to adapt in new ways. Thexra's sensor tendrils coiled with sudden understanding. The resonance wave, it wasn't just a weapon. It was an invitation. Precisely, Chen confirmed. We don't want to compete with advanced civilizations. We want to collaborate with them. But first, they need to understand that true advancement doesn't always look like advancement. The diplomatic chamber's lighting shifted as Martinez stepped forward. High Commander, humanity would like to propose a joint research initiative. Your bioorganic technology, combined with our adaptive systems, could revolutionize space exploration. But more importantly, it could help both our civilizations move beyond the obvious paths of technological development. As Thexra processed the proposal, her enhanced sensors detected something extraordinary. The apparently simple diplomatic chamber was itself a technological marvel, its every surface capable of adapting and responding to the occupants' needs. Yet to normal vision, it looked like nothing more than a basic meeting room. She realized that humanity hadn't just developed advanced technology. They had fundamentally reimagined what technology could be. And now, they were offering to share that vision, not through displays of power, but through the subtle art of making the extraordinary appear ordinary. The Zyxerian Science Academy's Grand Hall hummed with anticipation as Admiral Martinez prepared to address the assembled researchers. The bioorganic architecture, usually pulsing with the calm rhythms of academic discourse, rippled with excitement. For the first time in their civilization's history, the Zyxerians were about to learn how a supposedly lesser species had completely upended their understanding of technological advancement. The story of human technological development, Martinez began, isn't just about engineering. It's about psychology. The simple wooden podium he stood behind suddenly transformed, revealing itself as an advanced holographic interface that made the entire hall part of his presentation. When humanity first ventured into space, we were far behind most established civilizations. Our first encounters with alien species taught us two crucial lessons. First, obvious technological superiority often leads to conflict. Second, appearing less advanced can be a tremendous strategic advantage. The hall filled with images from humanity's early space exploration. Primitive chemical rockets, basic space stations, crude early attempts at faster-than-light travel. But now, with the Zixarians' enhanced perception, they could see that even these early ventures contained seeds of the deceptive technology that would later revolutionize space warfare. We began Project Mirror after our first contact with the Drachnid Empire, Martinez continued. They were like you, highly advanced, their ships living examples of technological achievement. They dismissed us as primitives, barely worth studying. That dismissal gave us time to study them. The holographic display showed human research vessels disguised as cargo ships, mining platforms retrofitted as observation posts, and civilian stations that were actually sophisticated listening posts, each one designed to appear primitive while gathering crucial data about advanced civilizations. But the real breakthrough, Martinez explained, came when we started studying how advanced species think about technology. We discovered a common psychological pattern, the assumption that advancement must be visible, that sophisticated technology needs to announce itself. High Commander Thexra, seated in the front row, felt her neural patterns shift with recognition. How many times had the Zixarian Empire showcased its bioorganic technology, proudly displaying its achievements to less advanced species? Humanity took a different approach, Martinez continued. Instead of trying to match advanced technology with equally advanced displays, we developed what we call recursive camouflage, technology that doesn't just hide itself, but actively maintains the illusion of being something else entirely. The podium transformed again, its surface flowing like liquid metal before settling back into the appearance of simple wood. Every piece of human technology is designed with three principles in mind. First, it must be capable of appearing to be something simpler than it is. Second, it must be able to adapt its appearance and function based on who's observing it. And third, it must contribute to the larger network of deception that protects human space. The holographic display showed the true extent of this philosophy. Human ships that could appear damaged to hide their capabilities, stations that masked themselves as natural phenomena, and even individual pieces of equipment that could pass as primitive tools while performing incredibly advanced functions. But the most important aspect of our approach isn't technological. It's psychological. We don't just hide our capabilities. We actively encourage other species to underestimate us. Every seemingly primitive human vessel is an invitation to make assumptions. Every apparent vulnerability is a carefully crafted illusion. The assembled Zixarian scientists watched in fascination as Martinez demonstrated how human technology adapted to different observers. The same device could appear as a simple communication unit to one species, a basic sensor array to another, and a primitive weapon to a third, all while performing functions far beyond any of those appearances. This isn't just about military advantage, Martinez emphasized. It's about creating space for peaceful development. When advanced civilizations don't see you as a threat or a competitor, you have room to grow, to experiment, to develop in ways they might never imagine. Thexra's sensory tentacles extended with sudden insight. That's why you revealed yourselves to us. You're not just showing us your technology. You're showing us a new way of thinking about advancement itself. Martinez nodded. Exactly. The Zixarian Empire has achieved incredible things with its bioorganic technology. But like most advanced civilizations, you've been constrained by the assumption that progress must be visible. We're offering you a chance to explore a different path. The holographic display shifted one final time, showing the vast network of human achievements hidden behind carefully maintained illusions of primitiveness. Research stations pushing the boundaries of physics while appearing to be mining outposts. Ships capable of reshaping space-time disguised as basic freighters. An entire civilization's worth of advancement, all hidden in plain sight. The future of space exploration, Martinez concluded, doesn't belong to the species with the most advanced visible technology. It belongs to those who understand that true power often lies in the ability to appear powerless. The question is, are you ready to learn how to hide your light behind an empty mirror? As the presentation ended, the assembled scientists realized they weren't just being offered access to new technology. They were being invited to fundamentally reimagine their civilization's entire approach to advancement. The bioorganic walls of the Academy pulsed with patterns that would have been impossible before their encounter with humanity. The neural signature of a species learning to see power in emptiness. A joint human Xerian research facility floated silently in the quantum currents of the Carina Nebula, its exterior still maintaining the appearance of a primitive mining station. Inside, High Commander Thexra watched as centuries of assumptions about technological evolution were systematically dismantled. "Look at this," Dr. Sarah Chen, now leading the Joint Research Initiative, directed Thexra's attention to a molecular assembly chamber. Inside, what appeared to be simple metallic components were actually building themselves into structures of impossible complexity. This is how human technology naturally evolves. The components didn't just assemble. They adapted, changed, and reconfigured based on countless variables. Some pieces looked crude and unfinished, while others appeared to be nothing more than industrial waste. Yet together, they formed systems far more advanced than their individual parts suggested. Human evolution shaped our approach to technology, Chen explained, her simple research uniform subtly shifting to maintain optimal environmental conditions. On Earth, the most successful organisms weren't always the strongest or most advanced. They were the ones that could adapt, that could appear to be something they weren't. The demonstration chamber showed examples from Earth's evolutionary history. Insects that looked like leaves, fish that could change their coloration, simple organisms that survived multiple extinction events, while more advanced species perished. Alongside each biological example, a piece of human technology demonstrated the same principles. When we first encountered alien civilizations, Chen continued, we recognized a pattern we'd seen in Earth's history. Species that openly displayed their capabilities often became targets. Those that could hide their true nature had time to develop, to evolve in unexpected ways. Thexra's neural patterns resonated with understanding. So you modeled your technology on evolutionary camouflage. More than that, Chen smiled. We made our technology part of an ongoing evolutionary process. Every piece of human equipment, every ship, every station. They're all constantly evolving, learning, adapting. But unlike your bioorganic systems, which evolved to display their advancement, ours evolved to hide it. The demonstration shifted to show the quantum-level changes that had been introduced to Xerian technology during their first encounter. What had seemed like simple modifications were actually seeds of a new kind of technological evolution, one that emphasized adaptation and concealment over obvious advancement. Your civilization developed bioorganic technology to its pinnacle, Chen noted. You created ships that could think, systems that could grow. But you always assumed that evolution meant becoming visibly more advanced. We took a different lesson from nature. Sometimes the most successful evolution is the one that no one notices. A new hologram appeared, showing the true nature of human space. What had appeared to be random collections of primitive colonies, mining operations, and trade routes was actually an intricate network of advanced systems, all disguised as something less than they were. Each seemingly simple human outpost was a node in a vast, hidden web of technological advancement. But now we face a choice, Chen said, her expression growing serious. Humanity has reached the limits of what we can achieve alone. Your bioorganic technology represents a path of evolution we never explored. Together, we could develop something entirely new, technology that can both grow and hide, advance, and adapt. The demonstration chamber transformed, combining Xerian bioorganic components with human adaptive systems. The result was astonishing. Technology that could think, grow, and evolve while maintaining complete control over how it appeared to outside observers. This is what we're offering, Chen explained. Not just an alliance between our species, but a new path of technological evolution. One that takes the best of both our approaches. Your ability to create living technology, our ability to hide its true nature. Thexra watched as the hybrid technology assembled itself, each component seeming to be exactly what any observer would expect to see, while being something far more sophisticated. "You're not just changing how we build technology," she realized. "You're changing how technology itself evolves." "Exactly," Chen confirmed. "The universe is full of species racing to develop the most advanced, most visible technology. But the real frontier isn't in creating something new. It's in creating something that can be whatever it needs to be, while appearing to be nothing special at all." The hybrid system in the demonstration chamber settled into its final form, a simple-looking maintenance panel that contained computational power greater than entire Zixarian research stations. Yet to any observer, it would appear to be nothing more than a basic piece of equipment. "This is humanity's gift to the galaxy," Chen concluded. "Not our technology, but our understanding that true evolution doesn't always mean becoming visibly greater. Sometimes, the most powerful force in the universe is the ability to be underestimated." As Thexray observed the hybrid technology continuing its hidden evolution, she understood that humanity hadn't just revolutionized space warfare or technological development. They had discovered a fundamental truth about the universe itself, that the most profound advancements often hide behind the simplest facades, and that true power lies not in displaying strength, but in having the wisdom to conceal it. The research facility continued its quiet orbit, still looking like nothing more than a primitive mining station. But inside, two civilizations were laying the groundwork for a new kind of technological evolution, one that would reshape the galaxy not through displays of power, but through the subtle art of appearing powerless while being anything but.